Well, that took some doing. I went to the bank in the town where I lived and walked in to open my account. I went to the window and told the lady I wanted to open up a savings account. She said, "Great. What is your name?" I said, "Mr. Rohn." She said, "Fine, Mr. Rohn, just fill out these papers." I filled them out, handed them back to her, and she said, "That's all in order. Now, how are we going to get this account started?" I said, "Put 10 in." She said, "10 what?" I said, $10. Now, can you imagine the scene? I'm a grown man, 25 years old. I have a family. I'm working and opening up my first savings account with $10. I said, "Hey, this may not seem like much, but I have a great plan. In fact, before long, I'll probably have the largest savings account in this bank." She said, "Well, if you say so." It was a bit embarrassing, I must admit, but Shoaff said, "Get excited about where you're going and excited about the fact that you are one of the few who have a wealth plan in place and working." To make a long story short, guess what? Within less than 3 years, I did have the largest savings account in that bank. Now, it was just a small country bank, but I did reach my goal. What magic! And how quickly it works once you develop a new plan and a new attitude and commit to the discipline to do it. Wealth plans, anyone can have them. Wealth goals, anyone can design them. Wealth habits and disciplines, anyone can develop them. The management of time. Wouldn't you agree? This has to be one of the master keys to wealth and happiness. I was in South Africa for a lecture tour some years ago, and I picked up this short article by Arnold Bennett on the subject of time. I thought it was excellent, and I'd like to share it with you now. Time, he wrote, is the inexplicable raw material of everything. With it, all is possible. Without it, nothing. The supply of time is truly a daily miracle, an affair genuinely astonishing when one examines it. You wake up in the morning and lo, your purse is magically filled with 24 hours of the unmanufactured tissue of the universe of your life. It is yours. It is the most precious of possessions. No one can take it from you. It is unstealable. And no one receives either more or less than you receive. In the realm of time, there is no aristocracy of wealth and no aristocracy of intellect. Genius is never rewarded by even an extra hour a day. And there is no punishment. Waste your infinitely precious commodity as much as you will, and the supply will never be withheld from you. Moreover, you cannot draw on the future. Impossible to get into debt. You can only waste the passing moment. You cannot waste tomorrow. It is kept for you. You cannot waste the next hour. It is kept for you. I have said the affair is a miracle. Is it not? You have this 24 hours of daily time to live. Out of it, you want to spend health, pleasure, money, content, respect, and the evolution of your immortal soul. Its right use, its most effective use, is a matter of the highest urgency and of the most thrilling actuality. All depends on that. Your happiness, the elusive prize that you are all clutching for, my friend, depends on that.
A friend of mine named Lorraine had me to come to do an intervention with her brother that was addicted to drugs, and he told us to get out of his house. And as we were going down the steps, I said, "I'm sorry I failed. I'm so disappointed." And she said something that I'll never forget. I want you to remember. She said, "Les, most people won't participate in their own rescue." Most people won't participate in their own rescue. You have a vehicle that will allow them to create their own job. You have products that people need. You have training and coaching where they'll be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. You have leadership of people who've proven that it's possible you can live your dreams. It's possible you got a shot at creating a fortune. Everybody's not going to do it. We can't predict performance. And all you are saying, hey, listen, here's an opportunity. And don't take it personal when people say no to you. They're not saying no to you. They're saying no to themselves. They're saying no to living a bigger life. They're saying no to what's going on in their head because they're suffering from possibility blindness. They can't see themselves doing more. They don't want to do that extra work. So they're saving you some time. They know they're trifling and don't want to work. Don't try and convince them to say yes. A person convinced against their will is of the same opinion still. This is hard work. H-A-R-D and H-E-A-R-T. Hard work and hard work. You got to gut this out. You've got to know your vitamins. You've got to fail your way to success. You've got to be unstoppable. You have to operate like Willie Jolly, who said a setback is a setup for a comeback. You've got to be relentless. When you're building a business. You got to be able to have courage after you face rejection again and again and again. After somebody tell you they're going to show up and then they don't come, they don't return your calls. It takes courage. Go out, start talking to people. It takes courage when creditors are building a breathing down your neck and family members saying, oh, there he goes again with another pyramid scheme. Am I making sense to you? What I'm doing? I didn't do this for 14 years because I didn't have the courage. I was afraid of being rejected because I don't have a college education. I had a tremendous inferiority complex. And something else. In order to make this business successful, to go from a 9 to 5 to 5 until you faint, it's a different mindset. It requires a radical change.
The inconsistency of humanity. And no, I'm not making excuses for sin. And no, I'm not taking down from righteousness. And yes, holiness is still right. It's just that we are not holiness. We are human. Holiness is still right, but that don't mean I'm always right. Holiness is right, but humanity goes wrong. And some of you that's hollering holiness is right, you got some stuff too, because I grew up with you. And I know that I got the receipts. You ain't so such about, don't tell me you so such about, just because your dress go down to the floor don't mean you can't yank it up. It don't mean, I found out a long time ago, dresses that go down, go up. Y'all ain't gonna talk back to me this morning, because y'all won't stand by the truth. But Jesus said, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Them church hats come off. Yes, they do. And prayer caps and prayer bonnets, all of that stuff comes off. Because when you strip all of that down, you're human. You have to wrestle every day between your holiness and your humanity, between your attention and your realities. Come on, talk to me, somebody. Because this that I am preaching about today is just as real as anything you want to talk about. The inconsistencies of man. That's why marriages fail. Because you married an idea and you went home with a man. You married a concept, but you went home with a woman, a flawed woman, a flawed man, who don't always tell you everything they ought to tell you, who's not always open about what they ought to be open with, who's a mother and may really love her kids but may not be a great mother, may only be a good mother, may be a fair mother, may be a bad mother, but a mother nonetheless, may be a great mother, not a great wife, he may be a great father, not a great husband, and all of a sudden, can you live with somebody who has disappointed? Do you have the kind of love that runs off the porch to grab and hug a funky son with tracks in his arm or a dress around his waist? Do you have the kind of love that Jesus was talking about in the Bible? Peter was warming himself by the fire of the people he used to fight. Watch out for people who fight stuff all the time. Because when you're always preaching about something, when you always talking about something, don't be surprised when you find them warming themselves by the fire of the very thing. Y'all ain't gonna help me preach this morning. Y'all not gonna help me preach this morning. But I'm dealing with some stuff this morning that's deep, and it may be dark, but it's true, and it's eating at us. It's eating at us. It is not what we are eating that's making us gain weight. It's what's eating at us. It's eating at our peace. It's eating at our rest. It's eating at our joy. It's eating at our marriages. It's eating at our careers and our commitments and our self-esteem. And somebody has got to preach about shame, because the suicide rates are going up while we are quiet and silent and politically correct and beating our tambourines and dancing all over the world. Our kids are blowing their brains out. And
The key is what we do in our times of pain. Pain will change us. Heartache, loss, disappointments, they don't leave us the same. Now, how the pain changes you is up to you. You can come out bitter, or you can come out better. You can come out defeated, giving up on your dreams, or you can come out with a new passion, a new fire, excited about the new opportunities in front of you. All of us experience pain. My challenge, don't just go through it, grow through it. That difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain new confidence. Anybody can give up. Anybody can let it overwhelm you. But you know what that's doing? Wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you, to increase you, to develop you.
pain is temporary.
for a minute or an hour or a day or even a year. But eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. If I quit, however, it will last forever. I dare you to take a little pain. I dare you. I dare you not to go home. Somebody said, I don't go home, I feel bad. Go through it. You ain't gonna die. At the end of pain is success. You're not gonna die because you're feeling a little pain. So don't worry about a little pain.
Every single person who has ever done anything worthwhile or exceptional or difficult or extraordinary, everyone encounters difficulties. There is no easy road. It does not exist. It is impossible. We all go through hard times. We all go through depression. We all go through doubt and moments in your life where it's really difficult and you're trying to figure out what your path is going to be. It's hard as shit. But that is what makes you a person. And those difficult moments are what build your character.
Experiencing pain in your muscles and aching and just then go on and go on and then go on. And this last 2 or 3 or 4 repetitions, that's what makes actually the muscle then grow. And that divides then one from a champion and one from not being a champion. If you can go through this pain barrier, you make it to be a champion. If you can't go through, forget it. And that's where most people lack, is on this having the guts to go in and just say, I go through and I don't care what happens. You know, it aches, and if I fall down, I have no fear of fainting in the gym, because I know it could happen. I threw up many times while I was working out, but it doesn't matter, because it's all worth it.
Today, I wanted to just really hit on something: successfully dealing with pain. I think you hear many stories, and every story I just sat in the back room and listened to. I'm watching these people triumph and figure out ways to keep going. But how do you keep going? Why do you keep going? When the world says everything else is supposed to be opposite.
Every time you come up to a challenge, you quit, you surrender, you give up, you give in. Every single thing I go through, I remember I was homeless and I draw from it. Every single time I'm going through pain, I remember that I've gone through pain since I was a kid. I draw from it. Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness.
There's 2 sides of pain that I don't think a lot of people really understand, right? There's one side of pain that's the suffering and the discomfort side of pain. But then there's another side of pain that's called effort. It's called glory. It's called, if you can find a way to push through pain, there's something greater on the other side of it. And if you never tap into it, it's because the first time you felt it, you backed off. First time you felt, wow, that burn, the first time you feel that it's too much. That's why a bunch of us give up so much in life so quickly. That's why kids have a problem finishing things in today's time. Because as soon as they feel a small bit of discomfort, of things ain't right, oh, they're gone. I can't do it no more. But suppose I told you the greatest pain of my life is the reason I'm standing here today. See, sometimes we think the pain is what controls us. It's actually our subconscious mind. That if we ever tapped into that, that's what dictates most of our lives. Because see, pain is tricky. Because if you don't control pain, it'll control you. Think about what we do the moment we feel that, right? It's back to the two sides of pain, the two sides of pain. See, at that point, I feel like a victim. And I feel like, oh man, why me? You know, and when I remember laying on the ground. And I said, Lou, ain't nobody out here gonna help you get up. What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain? Because I think that's where we're getting in trouble at. And so when I started cycling, when I started going to see these doctors, I realized that I turned my greatest pain into my greatest achievement. Well, sometimes your greatest pain, it ain't even about you. It's about a greater purpose. That if you can find a way to push through, that if you can find a way to not make it about you, learn to appreciate the occasional storms that come in your life. Just learn to appreciate how small they are. The occasional storms that come every day. And then that's the ingredient of how you really deal with it.